Prophesied August 20th, 2011 at youtube.com/harvestarmy. A vision of Turkey involved in military conflict and insurrection soon.
Let's join Anita McNaught, who's on the Turkey-Syria border. In terms of the numbers, Anita, what is the story right now?
Well, we were surprised this morning, a significant jump, more than 1,000 overnight. Well, when I say we were surprised, we haven't seen jumps of this order, but then when you look at what's going on just across the border in Syria, and Jisr al-Shugur is barely 20 kilometers, 10 miles from 12 miles from where I am now, you'd understand what the issue is. If I can give you a sense, David, of what we're looking at, if I can get our cameraman Volkan to zoom very slowly past me to the hills behind, what was a camp, a very small camp with just a few people hanging around, then became a camp where people and vehicles hung around, then became a camp where people actually put up tents. Now they seem to have been donated that famous blue plastic by the Turkish government, and there they rest. Each day we've seen that grow and swell. Those are the people still inside Syria, hedging their bets, hoping that they won't have to come across, but absolutely poised if the security situation turns any worse, and if they see any whisper or whisker of Syrian security forces appearing near them, to dart across the Turkish border to safety. That's just one area near us. There are other little camps like that forming on the Syrian side. We know conditions aren't very good there. If they decide to come across, of course, they put themselves in the hands of the Turkish government, and then they don't get to make their own decisions about how they... Yeah, the stories are pretty consistent and altogether rather unpleasant. They talk of indiscriminate shelling. We've talked to one man today who saw 2 helicopters, military helicopters, hovering overhead, firing. Again, he said indiscriminately at people. We're hearing accounts of the destruction of Jisr al-Shugur. One person said to us when we gamely smuggled a camera across into the Syrian side, because we thought that was probably the most discreet way to do this, that half of Jisr al-Shugur was itself in the process of being destroyed. Let's have a listen to one of the people who spoke to our team yesterday.
We were besieged at Jisr. We were being hit. We couldn't leave. They shot at everyone. I was shot in the chest. My cousin who was with me died. They cut our electricity, water, phones. We were left with nothing. That's why we came to the Turkish border.
I spent an hour today talking to a young soldier who had defected. His crisis of conscience started in Dera, but he was redeployed further up the country. He says the Syrian army is in the process of splitting apart because there are so many soldiers who, like him, cannot stand the orders to shoot on their own people. He said that when he was finally sent out, and he was sent out with a baton and not with a gun and just told to beat up the protesters, that when confronted with unarmed demonstrators who were simply crying freedom, he couldn't go through with what he was asked for. He's lived to tell the tale. We of course have heard from other accounts that soldiers who've refused to take action against the demonstrators have themselves been killed.